Hey guys, welcome back to the Simple Homestead. Today is a rainy day. I decided to be a perfect day to make some calendula oat honey soap. Both grandma wanted some and his cousin wanted some, plus I had another lady that was interested in some soaps. We're gonna get at it, and the kids are inside because it's raining, so you're probably gonna hear some of them. And if you hear a humming in the background, that is the incubator. We loaded it up. We have a week. We are a week into incubating our eggs for this year. There they are. This side of the incubator is our eggs. This side of the incubator is eggs from our cousin because their chickens laid earlier than ours, and I'm hoping to get some early laying chicks this year from them. The recipe I'm using for today's soap is actually one I've included in my book. This recipe is included in my book, and I now have it available at the shops on 2nd in Carrollton, and it's available on the website brinkerfamilyfarm.com. With each purchase, I've also included a quick guide to herbs. This is a really simple, thin resource, but I've included 8 different herbs, and calendula is in here, so I'll let you see what it looks like. There's 8 herbs in this collection, this quick guide. So it's got the name, it's got a little quote, the botanical name, benefits, uses, how to preserve, precautions that would be needed to be mentioned. Then the additional resources, more than likely that's the book that I heavily checked to make sure the information was correct. I have included, looks like I did the same book for basil. I did include 3 or 4 different books that I found really useful, and I like the information that they provided on each of the herbs talked about. And then I went ahead and provided a YouTube video with a QR code that matches it. That way you can see other people's thoughts about these types of herbs. Currently, the Simple Homestead and the Quick Guide to Herbs is on sale for $30. I think I'm going to put the herb guide aside too, so if anybody's just wanting the herbs and not the other book, the Simple Homestead, I'll put it on the website as well. I have it available in 2 options, the hard copy that you see me holding, and then there's also a downloadable version that you can get right onto your computer or phone, however you want to download it. It is also available, same price, on the website. I don't like my oats to be this big, so I stick them in the coffee grinder to grind them up. I've also just done it like on a cutting board and chopped it with a knife, which works just fine. Today I don't feel like doing that. I'm sticking it in here. For 2 pounds of the Mountain Pour soap, I use about 1/8 of a cup of oats. However, today I'm using those molds that have the 6. That'll give me 6 bars out of this, and to get those filled to the top takes about 1 pound 10 ounces roughly to fill those all the way up. So all of my measurements that are included in my book, I'm going to cut back just a little bit, otherwise everything else is the same. And if I really wanted to, I could leave it and just be a little bit more full of the calendula oats and honey. So it's up to you whenever you go to make it and how you want to do it. Kind of cater it to the way you would like it. Yeah, so there it is. You want to see, Marshall? You want to see? See? Oats. Thank you. Oh, yep. Thanks, bud. Yeah. Thanks, bud. You want it up? All right, hold on. Since I'm making this into 2 batches, because I'm using just like a regular size, what does this say? Since I'm using this 2.5 quart bowl, I don't want to overfill it. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it into 2 batches. It's not really that big of a deal for me. So I'm going to split this about 1/8 in each. I'll do a little bit more. Just get this a little bit. And then, there we go. So that'll be nice. This will be a nice amount for that. Now we're going to measure out the calendula. So I actually have several jars of it. This one is going to be mostly my seeds at this point. If my plants got a little bit older when I picked the flowers, then the seeds are a little bit more formed, and I thought maybe I'd be able to save them and use them. This one feels like they're not hard enough yet. Because it's dry, the petals just fall essentially right off. And then you just take them around the edge and get them off. But the thing is, like this one, you can tell it's really dry. And left, I probably picked it a little bit late because I can see these seeds are very dry. There is a few of the seeds. They're unique, and they remind me of C for calendula. Let's see if I turn one around like that. C for calendula. Oftentimes, calendula will send off a lot of shoots, but the flowers don't last for long before they start kind of dying off and wanting to go to seed. Each plant, that's what they want to do. They want to provide seeds so that they can continue growing year after year. Well, calendula is not a perennial, but you will oftentimes find more flowers growing where the original plants were from the year before. And the reason is they drop their seeds. The seeds lay dormant over winter, and then as soon as the conditions are just right for them to germinate, they will germinate and start growing all on their own. I went ahead and got my water going so that I can get the soap. In here. This one might need to take a little water. So I can measure out that melt and pour soap, put it in here, and it can start getting melted up. Once it's melted, it's real quick, and we'll be mixing it up and getting them in the molds, and it'll be a done project. So what I'm going to do now is measure out the soap, so it's 1 pound 10 ounces roughly. I think the last time I made it, I might have done a little bit more, and then I just had a little extra, so it's no big deal. Most of the times these big ones come in 5 pounds. I might have seen a 2 pound one time, but typically when I'm buying it, I buy it 5 pounds at a time just because I know I'm going to use it, and even if I'm not selling it, I will use it for ourselves, and that's kind of the point. I just use this scale to measure it out once I get it cut up. 1 pound, 10.7 ounces. Close enough for me. So now we're just going to chop it up into little pieces. My water, I can see it's steaming. It's getting there. And since our house is warmer today, this is already softer than the last time I made soap. I made it in January, and I made like 6 different kinds, I think. It was 5 or 6 different kinds. I'm thinking it should melt down a little bit faster. Like I said, it's softer. While I'm waiting on that to finish, which we're getting pretty close, I like to go ahead and add some coconut oil. I've had this for a little while. I need to keep using it and get it used up. Still smells fine. And I like to just kind of coat the inside of each of these. I like to coat the inside of each of these little rectangles where the soap's gonna go. It just kind of helps the soap pop out a little bit better. With them being silicone, they do pop out fairly easy anyhow, but I just give it like an extra precaution. It only takes a couple minutes, especially since you're just getting your hands in here a little bit, and it don't take a whole lot. I just have a little bit. Now this coconut oil I only use for this coconut oil is only for making soaps and things like that, not for when I'm cooking. I don't even think I ended up finishing the other one for like anything for food. People didn't really like the taste that it gave food. So it's mostly just use the coconut oil for stuff like this. I also like to have them on a sheet pan. It just kind of keeps everything a little bit easier when I go to move it. All right, well, I'm stuck. This has just got that little bit there, so it's not going to take too much longer for that one to get done. And then this one's getting there. She's got that clump right there. We're getting there, getting pretty close. I like to add honey. Like I said, if I don't have any, I get this from Aldi's, but there's a local place that I see and they got restocked. So next time I'm over there, I'm going to get some more honey. And we're hoping to get out to our bees and try to see if there's any honey in there that we can get from them. We didn't do a fall harvest because we had just gotten the bees at the end of spring, beginning of summer, something like that, and so we just left them alone. Honey's good for like respiratory things, so if the kids are starting to get a cold, we'll make warm tea and add honey to it, and it's like antibacterial and it's got a lot of antioxidant properties to it, so just kind of one of the nice things to have in your soap as well, and that's why we add it. This recipe calls for 1/8 of a cup, but I didn't quite fill that up since, like I said, I'm not doing the full 2 pounds of soap base. And so I went down just a little bit on the 1/8 of a cup for this. This one is done. I'm going to go ahead and add in the oats and the calendula now. I just turn this down to a little bit lower until I finish this one, and then I'll come back to it. Another thing, I went ahead and turned this off. Another thing I like to add is some essential oils, and I'm out of the orange that I typically add to it, but I have this one. It's called Peaceful Sleep. It has orange in it. Actually, orange oil is the first ingredient, so you do get that orange. This one has, like, the first ingredient is orange oil and the second ingredient is tangerine oil, so that you're getting a lot of that floral and citrusy notes to it. That's why I'm adding it into today's soap, because it's going to give me that orangey. It's going to give me a little bit of an orangey color, which is nice with the honey and the calendula, and it's going to give just a nice little boost to the smell. I'm going to do 15 to 20 drops in these 2 batches. There's that. I'll move you so you can see. So this is the one I haven't done anything with yet. And then there's this one, and I'm just going to give it a little stir, and I'm going to add in the honey, and it's going to be ready to pour. And then give it a stir, and then I'm going to set you guys back down, and I'm going to pour this out, and then I will finish up the last one. I'm gonna get at this last batch so I can get it done. I gotta go get animals done, and then, you know, all the evening things. Alright guys, until next time, grow something beautiful. Bye now. I ended up leaving this soap until the next day, but it would have been fine a couple hours later to take out. It just pops right out. Like I said, with it being silicone and adding that little bit of coconut oil, it makes it really easy to come out. And there it is. It's got all the beautiful calendula throughout it, and the oats are on the backside. And here it is, all packaged up, ready to give away. Enjoy!